What's up, guys? It's that time of the week again. We are back with About the Buckets. It's Jordan over here, and we got Maddie over here. And yeah, so let's get into it, man. Let's talk some All-Star Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, let's recap. So, what was your highlight of All-Star Weekend?
Probably the dunk contest and watching Julius Randle try to participate in the 3-point competition.
Right, attempting.
Yeah,
Can
attempting.
can we even
Um,
say that he did participate, or do we just say that he attempted to participate?
I don't even think he'd earn a participation trophy.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, dude.
It looked like he lifted before he like
Yeah,
start he like was in the contest. I don't
it
know. It
it
was
didn't.
awful.
So like sometimes guys are just like have a bad night, right? But he didn't even pass the eye test of looking like he belonged there. You know,
And you know what's I feel so bad for Nick fans because isn't it true that he's made the most threes on the team?
I don't know, but that wouldn't surprise
Like,
me.
so is he
I'm actually
taking
gonna look
more
that
than
up.
the rest of the entire team? Like,
I'm gonna pull up Basketball Reference real quick and
yeah,
check that
please
out.
do it because I need to know the answer to that. Because he
Yeah,
missed one, he airballed one, I'm pretty sure, and then we were talking about it before the show. He missed one so bad, like that hit like the
yeah,
under part of the rim that I thought it was gonna wedge into
yeah.
into the rim.
So if you had to bet money, how much money would you bet that you could do better than that?
Everything I have.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not even joking.
Like with the crowd on TV, like at what dollar
Okay.
figure are you like? I am not sure I want to make this bet.
Hmm.
I because I
So
think that makes it interesting.
he scored okay. So he scored 8 points, right?
Yeah.
You have 5 racks, right? Five
Yeah.
racks.
Yeah.
How much is each
Was it
rack?
only 8? Was it only 8 that he got?
I'm pretty sure it was 8.
Oh no. That's
If it was
terrible.
anything more, then I'd probably say no.
Yeah.
But the fact that I'm telling you, man, I'm a shooter. Okay.
Yeah.
In my
I
men's
feel
league game yesterday, I made 2 from NBA range. Like
okay.
I'm like, yeah,
I
I was
respect
uh
it.
I was 4 for 5 on threes. Like come on, man. I'm taking that bet. I'm
Yikes.
betting everything in my savings.
So here it is. So Julius Randle does in fact lead the Knicks in three-pointers
Yeah.
made.
Mhm.
He has
Mhm.
161. The next highest is Jalen Brunson with 106.
Yeah,
However,
let's
so
attempts. Yeah, let's get this.
okay, so I will tell you RJ Barrett is number 2 in attempts with 291. Okay?
Okay.
So 291 is number 2. Guess how many Julius Randle has hit
How
or
many did he
has attempted?
Wait, how many did you say he made?
He's made 161.
Um I mean it has to be like almost like 500 or something.
You're not too far off. He's attempted
Is it-
477.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I was going to say, oh man, I was
he's
close.
he has shot 200 more three-pointers than RJ Barrett and Jalen Brunson.
Uh
Like double, almost double. Jeez,
You
that's
know what's so
horrible.
funny? I got into an argument with someone on Twitter. This just reminded me of like, oh, Lakers let all their best players go. Like, look what they did with Julius Randle and stuff. And I'm like, I mean, Julius Randle, like, he's a good player
Yeah,
on a somewhat subpar team. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, he's
but
never going to be a 1 or 2 or even a 3 option on a
yeah.
like contender.
From those dark Lakers years, I Julius Randle's like the guy that I'm missing the least.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I'm much more like, man, we let Brooke Lopez get away.
Oh my God. That don't even remind me of that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, and then because that was like the perfect center to have next to
mhm,
LeBron,
yeah, and
like
Anthony Davis, yeah,
and Anthony Davis. Yeah, it's
yeah,
oh my God, don't even. And he's one of the best defenders in the NBA right now too. Still,
yeah, dude. People were sleeping on him. I've always been a big Brooke Lopez fan.
yeah, but But yeah, I don't know. Dunk contest was cool. I know you had said you saw some of it.
Yeah, yeah. I was at
Mac
dinner
McClung.
with my in-laws, so I was
Yeah,
able to catch some of it.
I mean, this is my thing. Like, you bring Mac McClung up from the G League, right? Entertaining. To me, it's like if the stars aren't going to do it, the guys that you want to see aren't going to do it. Why not bring up some of these G League guys?
Yeah,
You know, like I mean, gives them an opportunity. I mean, look what happened to Mac McClung. Like overnight, suddenly, I mean, I know people that love the game, know who he is from like
yeah,
college and high school. He had like one of the most viral high school mixtapes of all time.
yeah,
Um, but like, I mean, you
yeah,
saw what it did for him. He wins up, what was it, 100K prize?
yep,
Like, you're telling me none of these G League guys are going to want to prove themselves
yeah,
and actually want to do something. I don't want to see these
yeah,
guys come in and like not know what they're going to do. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Just Jericho Sims it. Um,
So I have a soapbox that I have a tangent that I want to go off on. So if you don't mind.
Go
So I
ahead.
saw somebody on Twitter say that LeBron ruined the dunk contest because he
Oh,
never
what was that?
participated.
Oh,
Um, but I think more so than his fault, I think it's like, and I guess I don't really want to blame him. I think it's more the fault of like the Michael Jordan social media stands. Because if I'm LeBron,
oh yeah.
why would you do the dunk contest if you're LeBron? Like you have nothing to gain from it. But if he didn't win, then it's just like, Michael Jordan won the
Yeah.
dunk contest. LeBron didn't. LeBron had nothing to gain from doing the dunk contest.
No,
I don't blame him. I mean,
I don't
it's
either.
unfortunate. It would have been cool to see like, him and Kobe compete against each other in the dunk competition, but I mean, if you're LeBron and your aspiration is to become the greatest of all time, you have to be conscious of that stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know. Just my
Yeah.
take.
It's always a Jordan stance, man. The
I
same
know.
same ones that say that we should limit how many threes you should make in a game, right?
Oh, yeah.
Uh, but what was your take? So let's move to do you want to talk about like the what is it called? Like the Rising Stars and everything?
Well, what
Were
did
you
you
able
think
to
about Scoot? What do you think about Scoot?
Yeah, no, I mean he's impressive.
Yeah.
Um uh I mean your boy
Knee
Luca Garza balled out.
well, knee-jerk reaction. I don't
Yeah.
know how much you watch Scoot in the G League. I know you're more of a college guy than a
Yeah,
draft
more of
guy,
a
right?
college. Yeah.
Whereas I'm the opposite. I'm more of a draft guy than a college guy.
Mhm.
Um, would you take Scoot over Brandon Miller after just watching this one game? Because people seem to be a little low on Scoot after watching that performance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Um I mean, I think that the hype for Brandon Miller, I mean, obviously there's the off the court thing that just kind of happened, but I feel like,
Yeah.
I mean, the new stuff that came out, it seems like he didn't, I mean,
Yeah.
he knew nothing and, it wasn't really, I mean,
Yeah.
based on stuff I saw, I don't know if
Yeah.
it's, you never know what you're reading on the internet now when
Mhm.
people post things. Um, but I mean, did you see his last game? I think it was against South Carolina.
Yeah, didn't he have
He had like,
43
he
points
had like 43 points,
and the game-winning
looking like,
layup?
dude, looking like KD. Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah. He's
KD,
big.
Paul George, that you know what I mean? He's lengthy. I think he'll be a pretty good defender too.
Mhm.
He obviously has to put some weight on. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, honestly, like I've been really high on Brandon Miller. I was someone that thought that Scoot would go number 2 just because of all the hype and everything. But I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, like I'm more of a college basketball guy. But I mean, Brandon Miller to me in any other draft class, if he was
Yeah.
in the last year's draft class, the one before, he would have been the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
So I can't blame anyone for taking him, second. I think Wembanyama is a lock for first, obviously,
Oh, he
but like,
has to be, dude.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. We're not
Yeah.
even going to talk about that. But like, I can't shame, a team for taking someone like Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
When you look at the body type, his ability, like the fact that he shoots like over 40
Yeah.
something percent from 3 is absolutely insane at the
Yeah.
volume he takes threes.
Yeah. Well, so one of the things that stuck out about Scoot is he is he's actually 6'2" in a
Mhm.
bad way. Like he was listed at 6'2". I was hoping it'd be like Russell Westbrook. I mean, Westbrook's always
Yeah.
been listed at 6'3", 6'4", whereas he looks taller than that. Um, whereas, man, Scoot just seemed a little small.
Mhm.
Um, and plus, man, I was watching a little more of Amin Thompson
Yeah.
over the weekend, just YouTube videos and stuff. And
Yeah.
I
He
saw,
impresses me actually. I saw some stuff of his recently.
yeah. So I saw one scout saying that he thinks Amin Thompson is the best, uh, shoot,
Playmaker.
like, yeah, best playmaker in the draft, better
Yeah.
than Scoot.
There's a lot of people comparing him to like Penny Hardaway and stuff.
Yeah. And
That's
so
6'7" guard.
it's like, man, as much as I love Scoot, would I be shocked if he went fourth? I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah. I mean, this is I mean, there's always a discussion of like who's gonna get selected when, and then I
Yeah.
mean you saw like Paolo was supposed to go third, and then he
Yeah.
went, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out
Yeah.
how we think. And I mean, that's the thing. It's gonna depend on teams too, because I'm sure there's teams that would take, I mean, I don't even know, second. I can't think of a
Yeah.
prospect that's like in that fifth range or whatever. And maybe they take
Yeah.
Almond second. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it
Yeah.
just depends on their scouting department and everything.
Yep.
Um, but there's a lot of legit talent. This is like the most loaded draft class since I don't even know when.
What are the odds that Victor Wembanyama drops to like 11th and my Jazz get him? I'm just kidding. I'm coping right now. I like
All the other teams get their picks taken away or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that's what
I
probably.
was I was complaining to Maddie off air. The Jazz won in overtime, moved to 30 and 31, and I'm just like crushed. It's like one of the most heartbreaking regular season losses. Probably the worst for me in about 2 seasons. I don't get it. I really don't get it. What's the
Oh,
point of having the 12th pick in this draft?
12 is like the cutoff of where you don't want to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have a guy like I like Cason Wallace on
Yeah.
Kentucky. I've told you about him a lot, I think, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like Nick Smith drops down, or
Yeah.
because of injuries, or
Yep.
Anthony Black.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But even
you
still, man, like
you want to be in that like 8. I mean, as high as you can, but like
yeah.
at least like around that 8 mark, or you know,
Yeah.
5, 5, 6 would be the best case. Because I mean, you guys have to make up a lot of ground. I like how we're talking it from perspective of like you got to make up a lot of ground and sucking.
Dude,
So
I know. I mean, my go-to site right now for checking the standings is Tankathon, where they have the like
yeah,
games. The standings are backwards. So
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, the Jazz are 2.5 games behind the Lakers right now, even though that's backwards, right?
yeah.
Because in the actual standings, the Jazz are 2.5 games ahead of the Lakers. So
Mhm.
yeah, I just wanted us to be bad enough to get a shot at a top 4 pick.
Yeah.
Because even if we got fourth, like, and we got Brandon Miller or Amin Thompson, like, yeah, dude, I'll take that all day. But whatever.
If it was a couple months ago, you wouldn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
But
jeez.
I don't know, man. I'm excited for I need you to get into March Madness, man, just to watch I'll give you games of like who to watch, like
Okay.
prospects and
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm down for that.
Um dude, me and my buddies are like fiends for it. We take
Yeah,
off work. Hopefully my boss isn't listening. And we just watch the games all day.
yeah,
They spend the night here, and like
yeah,
the first 2 days so they're here Thursday at like 7:30 in the morning setting up, and
yeah.
then they're here till the end of the next day on Friday.
That's cool, man.
So it's gonna be a lot of good games, and I
Yeah.
mean get to see those guys showcasing their talents, because I
So,
think yeah.
well, so you're getting married in a few months. is this going to be the last year of this, or is
No.
is
No, she signed up for this, buddy.
okay?
She
That's
signed
good.
up for this.
I'm proud of
The
you.
only thing that's gonna change is it's gonna be at like our place, wherever,
Yeah,
my house has been, I mean, they literally, because I still live with my parents, they literally like come here. My parents are cool with it, and like they all just like bunk here.
yeah,
And
that's
it's
cool,
like 5, 6 dudes.
dude. But honestly, that's the life. Like that, there's nothing better than
We
that.
Dude, we sit outside. I already have a TV outside, and then we add 3 more, just have all the games on,
Yeah,
get food. Yeah, nothing like it, man.
yeah. That's when I was in high school and a little bit after. Some buddies and I always did that with the first round of the NBA playoffs.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah.
the first Saturday of round one, they do 4 games back to back, and we'd watch all of them. So yeah, man, there's certainly more fulfilling things in life, but yeah, like
But
nothing
is
is
there?
better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
No, but it's gonna be, I mean, like this generation, like, because I mean, the superstars we grew up with are, not gonna be in the league forever. I mean,
yeah.
LeBron's a bionic freak.
Well,
So it's interesting seeing this new generation,
yeah.
come up.
Well, if you think about it, there is kind of a gap with no new superstars for a while. Because if you think of the
Mhm.
best players in the NBA, they're like all around 33-ish, 32, 33, 34 right now.
Mhm.
Obviously, you have LeBron, and then you have the next guys who are all between 32 and 34. And then there is Jokic and Giannis, and then it's just Luca. So it's
Yeah.
like there was a 10-year gap where the best players in the league were all around the same age. The James Harden, KD, Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, like that cluster of dudes that are all in their early 30s now.
Mhm.
Like they dominated the NBA up until
Dame
just
Dalla
recently.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
He's 32, I think.
Yep. And so it's kind of interesting that there's only been 3 dudes in the last 10 years to really break into that group. And maybe you can put Ja Morant there. I wouldn't, but
Not yet.
um, yeah. But
He's not
so
even good in the West, so I don't know
yeah.
about that.
So I mean, if you think about it, if you're going the top 10 players in the NBA, like 7 of them are going to be out of the league in like the next 5 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy if you think about it. So
Who I don't know if we want to get off topic this much, but I was going to ask you who you think are going to be the next. I mean, besides Luca, obviously.
yeah, like, are we doing guys that are in the NBA already?
I would
Because
say, yeah, like maybe like rookie, second year players, like around
okay,
that
well,
age
would
range.
you give me Wemby? Can I say Wemby?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, because he's a sure thing, dude. Like, I know people are like, what if he busts?
Yeah.
If you look at NBA history, guys like Wemby don't bust. They've never busted. They don't bust. He's going to be, if he does not have injury problems, he will be one of the 10 best players on earth.
Yeah.
Easy, if not better. I don't think it's ridiculous to say he could be the best player on earth,
I don't
but
think so either.
he's not
He
going to
has that
bust.
potential.
If he doesn't have health issues, he won't bust. There's no way.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know how it's gonna happen because they got a lot of dudes on their team right now, but I'm gonna put Evan Mobley up there.
yeah, I like Evan Mobley a lot too.
Yeah. Who else?
Shea. Would you rather have Shea or Ja Morant?
Shea.
Me too.
Yeah. How old is Shea? Like 20.
I think he's 24.
Dude, that's so crazy because he's been in the league for a while. And because Ja was in college for 2 years, right? So
I
he's
think he's
like
22.
22 or 23,
Yeah. I'm kind of, dude.
right?
I mean, Ja is good. Don't get me wrong, but there's a few things that I really worry about
He's
him with.
23.
Yeah, I worry his off the court stuff has been a little weird in the last year.
Mhm.
Worry about that, and two, he's one of these guys where it's like, if you take away his elite athleticism, how good of a basketball player is he?
Yeah.
Because like look what happened to Blake Griffin, and this is a common story, is when guys are that good of an athlete,
Mm-hmm.
they sometimes fail to become a great basketball player besides that. And so it's like when John no longer has the explosiveness, the verticality, his ability to get to the rim, finish through contact, like what happens to his game?
No, it's true. The other
Yeah.
thing too, man, like SGA, the fact that he's scoring
Yeah.
like what is it, like over 30 a game,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's taking like 1 3 a game, if that even that, like shooting.
Yeah.
I don't know how many threes he takes, but barely any.
Yeah.
Like you compare that to the rest of the league, like that's hard to do,
Yeah.
you know? And I mean, I if that's something he can expand on in his game, like shit.
Yeah.
Like that's one guy I do not want to play. That's a bad man.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I would take Shea. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think Brandon Miller is going to be up there too. To be 100% honest with you,
Yeah. I think
I really
Paolo
like
will be.
Brandon Miller. Oh yeah,
Pau-
Paolo too. I didn't say
yeah.
him yet, but yeah, no, Paolo's.
Yeah.
I mean, people are. I saw. Okay, we got to talk about this now. This you just reminded me talking about Paolo. It was start, bench, cut, and it was the last 3 number 1 picks. So it was Cade, Paolo,
And
and
Edwards,
um,
Anthony
and
Edwards.
Anthony Edwards.
Shoot. I don't think that this is very fair to Cade, the
Mm-hmm,
conversation, just because the way his career has gone.
mm-hmm.
Um, I think because of his bad injury luck, I think he's vegan.
Who?
Uh, Cade.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm cutting him then.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't care what he chooses to do off the court in terms of being vegan, but like if he's had injury issues and he's not even eating animal proteins, I'd just be like, yikes. So yeah, I'd probably cut Cade, even though I think that this is unfair to him. Um, but yeah, oh man, it's tough. It's tough. I'd probably lean Paolo due to his size. Is
Yeah,
that too recency bias or what?
no, I'm cutting Cade.
Cutting Cade.
Yeah,
Well,
I
but
had.
but I mean, I think I'm benching Edwards and starting Paolo.
Oh, okay.
If we're
I
going
respect
long
that.
term, I mean, is it right now or
Oh yeah, long term. It wasn't really phrased in
yeah?
any way, but I was thinking of it like just now. But like
Oh,
if it was long term, I would take I would
yeah,
probably put Paolo too because I think he has the
yeah,
highest ceiling for sure.
yeah. Well, if we're just doing where they are right now, then I take Edwards. I think
Yeah.
Edwards. I think he's going to have the opportunity to really cement himself as like a star in the league in the playoffs. I think he will actually. I'm a big fan of Anthony Edwards.
Yeah. You mean Kermit? What was his name in the movie? Was it Kermit?
I can't remember, to be honest.
You know what I'm talking about? The Adam
Yeah,
Sandler basketball movie?
yeah, with Juancho Hernan Gomez.
Yeah. What was his name? It was a weird ass name.
Yeah, I can't
Damn.
remember it.
But yeah, man. It'll be interesting to see,
Yeah,
future superstars and stuff. And, we're gonna be talking to our kids about, watching Giannis and whoever else and
yeah,
LeBron and James Harden and all
yeah.
these dudes, and they're gonna be like, those guys are old as hell. Like,
I know, right?
uh,
These 15 years from now, we're going to be watching Luca chase down LeBron's record. It's going to be like, man, I'm
for
just kidding.
real.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, man. I mean, I think the biggest thing, so like coming, off of All-Star break, obviously second part of the season. I kind of wanted to talk about like what teams you thought, you see trending upward
Yeah,
versus, the other direction. I know we talked about this a little bit.
yeah,
But what are your thoughts?
Let's see. I think the Nuggets are going to get. I mean, they're obviously at the top, but I think they're trending up in the West just because of continuity. Um, I don't love Memphis that much. Sacramento, Phoenix, like show me first. With
Yeah.
Phoenix, I want to see it first.
You know what though? Like while we're on the subject of Phoenix though,
Yeah.
Josh Okogie, man, has been playing really well. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he can fit that together playing next to KD, that's something
Yeah.
we talked about. Like who are the role players that are gonna step up?
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you. We kind of have to see it because I mean sometimes the superstars don't work out.
Yep.
But
And
you're right
another
about
thing,
that.
like what happens if Chris Paul is hurt in the playoffs again?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you have KD and Devin Booker, so I mean, you certainly have the firepower, but Phoenix has not done well without Chris Paul.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the Clippers, I like them getting Eric Gordon, and who else did they got a big too? Who was the big that they got?
Plumlee.
Yeah,
I
but
actually
dude,
like that too.
yeah, why on earth did they sign Russell Westbrook? What in the world, dude? Like I picked the Clippers to win the finals before the season. I am officially like I am tearing that pick up and I am burning it and I want no part of the Clippers in the finals. Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's weird to say the Nuggets are trending up because they're at number 1, but I really don't see who's going to challenge them.
Yeah.
Unless it's Phoenix.
You know what I thought was so funny though was someone made like a TikTok video of like guys that played next to Russell Westbrook and it was like, oh, they all got MVPs and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, oh, you can play next to him. And then someone in the comments was like, well, how did they do in the playoffs?
For
It's
real,
true.
though. Yeah, for real though.
It's true. It's a different animal, man.
Yeah. I don't get it. I mean, you should be happy though. I mean, the door is
dude.
The door's wide open for your Lakers now.
It's like watching. Like I watched the game today. D'Lo got injured in the first quarter,
Yeah.
and obviously Steph was out. Andrew Wiggins, but
Yeah.
like the energy that they're playing with, they're defending better in transition. They're even better. I mean, I love the Malik Beasley's a monster. I love him. I love guys. We were talking about this before the show. I love guys that are actively looking for their shot. They're not just spotting up. And that's something he does really well. And he, tries to find open looks and transition opportunities.
Yeah.
Jared Vanderbilt, I really love too. Versatile defender.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, like it's amazing how deep this team is now.
Yeah.
They had like 50 something bench points tonight.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
It is.
Like,
yeah. I might be biased, but I think Minnesota's trending up as well.
Yes.
They've kind of had like worst case scenario for their season so far, and they're still right in the mix. So it's like they literally can't play worse. They had Karl Anthony Towns get hurt. The Rudy Gobert thing was kind of a disaster for the first 2 months of the season. Chris Finch on the hot seat. Anthony Edwards, having issues. Trading D'Angelo Russell. But, I mean, they fixed the mistake. The Timberwolves should have got Mike Conley originally in the trade for Rudy Gobert. Like, I mean, those two were so lethal together on the Jazz that it just didn't make any sense to me as someone who wanted Gobert to do well that you just didn't get Conley originally. So I think that they're trending up. But how shocked would you be if round 2 of the Western playoffs was Denver, Phoenix, Minnesota, and LA Lakers?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked
I don't
at
think
all.
I would be. No. I mean, here's the thing. Like, let's see. I post post All-Star break, what, 27 games left, right? Roughly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a short time. Like, to do what the Lakers did in terms of just like completely, I mean, they traded 6 players for 6 players, I think it was.
Yeah.
So like key rotation pieces.
Mhm.
That's a lot. It is, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think it could work? Yeah, I think it can.
Yeah.
Based on what I've seen. But I mean,
Dude, you're gonna get a
this-
chance to play. You're gonna get a chance to play Minnesota or Memphis or Sacramento in round one. If you take care of business in the play-in, you're gonna play Memphis or Sacramento in round one.
yeah, which I would love to play Sacramento
I'd love to play Memphis if I was you.
or Memphis
Yeah,
too.
I'd love to play
I
either.
would play either one, to be honest with you.
Yep, I would feel so great about that as a Lakers fan playing
Yeah.
Memphis or Sacramento. And that's no disrespect to Sacramento mostly. I mean, I don't like Memphis. Just don't believe in really.
Yeah.
I thought Memphis should have lost to Minnesota last year in the playoffs. So,
Yeah. I mean, now's the time of year too, man. 27 games left. Guys are getting stashed away. Guys that were on 2-way contracts are getting signed for the rest of the year. Help with tanking.
yep,
Your Jazz signed a few people.
didn't help. Chris Dunn
Yeah.
played some minutes tonight.
Chris
And
Dunn.
he looked good, dude. He actually looked good.
Bulls legend Chris Dunn.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was great to see him. It was fun to watch him in March Madness too. Providence, I think it was. But yeah, man, I mean, and then you look at like the Spurs have lost like 17 in a row.
I'm so jealous. So jealous of the Spurs.
I mean, listen to like who they have. Like, I mean, they have Zach Collins starting.
Yeah.
Bates, Diop, Keldon Johnson, Devontae Graham, who like couldn't get any minutes in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And a rookie in Malachi Branham, who's actually like, I think he's gonna be good too.
Is Sohan not starting?
I think he was
hurt?
injured.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise he would.
I like Sohan.
Dude, he's a versatile guy. He's really good. I like him too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, those 2 other teams in Texas, man, I almost said the Astros, the Rockets and the Spurs, man. Just it's full tank, man. It's
Yeah.
embrace the tank.
But I think there's like a balance because I would not want to be the Spurs in the
What do you
sense
mean?
of like I just feel like those teams are so bad and lack direction. I mean, if you're the Rockets, at least you have some pieces you can be like, well, I know I'm keeping Şengün. I know
Dude,
I'm keeping
I'll be honest with
Jabari.
you. Unless like I would not want to be anywhere near the Rockets.
Really?
I'm not a fan of a lot of their young guys. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Jalen Green.
Yeah.
Just the play style and everything.
Yeah.
Kevin Porter Jr. Like the Cavs traded him for a reason. Like,
Yeah.
huge locker room issue guy.
Yeah.
Unless they like make trades and stuff. I love Sengun though.
Yeah. Me too.
To me, it's like they got to get rid of.
He's the guy.
Like to me, it's like if they get the first pick, like they better trade those guys because you do not want that culture and Wembanyama coming into that culture.
Yeah. Or even if they get like, think of if they get like Scoot or Amin Thompson, and to pair him with Jabari, either of those guys with Jabari and Alperen Şengün, like I would trade Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green so fast.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
and I think you kind of, have to. I mean, they have like young role players that I like too. I mean, like, Tari Eason. Yeah, Tari Eason, Kenyon Martin Jr.
Yep.
I love Kenyon Martin Jr. But I mean, yeah, It's mainly those two guys.
I'm with you. I don't like them either.
Yeah.
But what I mean is like I think they have some trade value, but then you have especially Shengun, who I really like, and then I'm still in on Jabari.
Yeah. I'm in
So
on Jabari too.
so I
I think
think
he's
you pair those two guys with a top 3 pick, top 4 pick, and I'm all about it still.
okay.
Whereas the Spurs are just kind of there's not really anything there. They don't even have draft picks. I guess they got some Atlanta picks, but how good are those?
Yeah. No. I mean that's true. I mean they got a few guys that I like, but I mean I don't
Yeah.
know in terms of
Oh,
like building for
speaking of Atlanta, I don't
yeah.
think anything is imminent yet, but Shams was saying that they're zeroing in on Quinn Snyder as their next head coach.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you feel about the human vampire going over down there
yeah,
to
yeah.
poor guy age? So I don't know what the hell you guys did to him in Utah.
I don't think it was us, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust you, man. You guys sucked the life out of that man.
I think it was. I think it was a mix of Donovan Mitchell's ego and some powdery white substance. So, if I'm being honest, I don't think it had anything to do with Utah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. He's a good coach. So I liked him here in Utah. I thought he was the guy before the guy. You know what I mean? Like by the end of
Mike
his
Brown.
time, yeah, by
Or
the
not Mike
end,
Brown, Mark Jackson. Sorry.
yeah. I thought by the end of his time here in Utah, I was like, we have to make a coaching change if we want to try to win anything with
Yeah.
the Gobert, Mitchell, Conley, Joe Ingles core, you know.
hmm
I just thought that we had to make a coaching change. But at the same time, I don't think we get to that point without Quinn Snyder. I think he's like a good guy to build culture and to get your team to the doorstep,
Yeah.
but I don't think he's getting you all the way. So,
Yeah. Let me ask you something though. Do you think any less of Trey Young, like with all these, with all the shit that happened and stuff? You know, him not getting along with coaching staff and
yeah.
whatnot, or
Well, I mean, less is relative, right? What if I don't have a very high opinion of Trey Young in the first place?
yeah,
Um, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I don't really know what Atlanta's doing. Because there was people saying that like some of the players liked McMillan, but Trey didn't like McMillan. Seems they obviously chose Trey. So what of his teammates do? Like, I think we'll know more this offseason. If you see Trey up for trade, which some people are saying is a possibility, I think that will say a lot about him. But also, I think if you see them move on from some of the guys around Trey, like maybe John Collins, and I don't know. I think that would also be interesting. So I don't know, man. I really don't.
yeah. No, I was just curious about it. Um, I think we talked a little bit more about the West and the East.
Yeah.
Terms of like trending different directions. Are we taking the Heat to trend upwards after that huge signing that they landed off the
Kevin
buyout
Love.
market?
Let's do talk about the Heat.
Do you love
Actually,
it or
I like it. I think they are so lucky that they missed out on Westbrook
yeah.
because allegedly they are trying to get him. Man, they
Yeah,
dodged the bullet.
that would make no sense to me.
I will say though, the Heat were the one team that I could have maybe talked myself into it a little bit.
I thought you liked the Bulls.
Uh, well, that was just kind of for Mike. I wanted that for Mike.
Okay. Okay, you
Mike
wanted
would
that
have
for Mike.
loved that.
Got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like if I saw Westbrook go to the Bulls, it'd be like, man, I hope Mike enjoys the rest of this year. And I think he would have. I think it would have been great. But the Heat were the one team that I could be like, I could maybe see that working.
Yeah.
Just because they lack. I mean, they lack another dude that can handle the ball. They have Butler, but it's like, what else? I mean, do you want Tyler Hero handling the ball a lot in the playoffs? I
No.
don't. I don't. I'm sorry, but
They have what the remains of Kyle Lowry.
yeah. But in terms of Kevin Love, uh, I mean, if Kevin Love is going to be able to stay on the floor in a playoff game
Yeah.
in 2023, like putting him next to Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo is the way to do it.
Yeah. I think it's a great fit for the
Yeah.
personnel that they have, like the major
Yeah.
stars they have. It's just gonna come down to how healthy can he be. And,
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna have an expanded role
Yeah.
now, probably. So, I mean, is he gonna be able to play those minutes? Because he hasn't done that in, I mean, a while, because the Cavs had a heavy rotation at
Yeah.
center and big men. So, I mean, that's kind of the thing I'm looking at. But I mean,
Yeah.
at the same time, last year he was, I mean, six
Finals. Yeah.
six man finalist, and I mean, arguably should have even, you know, won, which I think is hilarious, because so many Heat fans were like, again, like, oh, how's Kevin Love even in the running? And I'm sure we're gonna see that of like, oh, last year he was one of the best six men, and
Yeah.
But anyways, Heat culture.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I just don't know. The Heat are interesting to me because I feel like they have like their roster is they're at a crossroads. Like they're kind of diverging in, do we go with the younger players or
Yeah,
do we
we
try to
talked
win with
about
Jimmy?
this. Yeah,
I feel like they have a foot in each direction. And that's
that's why
that's a
you saw them not do anything at the trade deadline, right?
tough place to be, man.
Yeah.
Um,
And we talked about it numerous times, that they do such a good job of getting these undrafted guys, second round
yeah,
picks, to kind of fill roles. But it's like,
yeah,
at some point you got to have dudes that can play at a very high level, to win, a championship, get far in the playoffs.
yeah,
And I feel like, when they were in the bubble, they had guys like that, or the guys on their roster were playing at that high of a level.
yeah,
But I mean, it's not the same roster,
yeah.
right?
Well, I mean, kind of their two main dudes next to, well, did they have Jay Crowder and PJ Tucker? Or no, Tucker was
No,
last year, right?
what was that?
Tucker was last year, correct? I
Yeah,
think he was last
Tucker.
year. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they would have had Goran Dragic, Jay Crowder, um, and then who was their other starter besides Bam and Jimmy?
Didn't they Jay Crowder, Kendrick Nunn, that's when he was still playing pretty well, I think. Um did they still have like James Johnson? Cuz I know he wasn't like the greatest.
I
He
think
was a
so.
guy that was a pretty good defensive player though too, like he knew his
Yeah,
role. Um but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't know, man. They're an interesting team. I don't really get it, um, but I don't know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Um yeah. I don't know. I hope Kevin Love puts up some numbers. I always liked Kevin Love too, man, by the way.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know why, but I always liked the undersized big guy that you know,
yeah.
plays like that. But
Averaging what 14 rebounds when he was back in
yeah, which is
Minnesota.
like, no one even talks about that. The fact that he was doing that at 6'8", like legit 6'8",
Yeah,
is nuts.
yeah,
Meanwhile, you have like Roy Hibbert, who played for the Pacers, that averaged like 5 rebounds a game, and he's like 7'3".
yeah.
So, but
Well, any last thoughts before we wrap up for the night?
um, what is your hot take for the second part of the season?
Um, I'm not sure that Phoenix works.
Okay.
I'm just not sure. I question their role players, and then having Chris Paul be so frail at this point in his career. Like, man, are we ready to see campaign Devin Booker, Josh Okogie, Kevin Durant, and Jock Landale out there? Like in a playoff game, or like Dario Saric.
It
Is
just
he still
sounds
on
like
the
a
team?
team. It just sounds like a team in 2K, like when you trade all your rotation players for like all these superstars, and you have to sign free agents, and you don't have
Yeah.
any picks for like 7 years.
Yep. I mean, let me pull up their depth chart really quick. But I think that might be my hot take is like, I think there's a decent chance. Oh, they have TJ Warren, so that helps big time.
Oh yeah,
And
TJ
DeAndre
Warren.
Ayton. I forgot about Ayton. But yeah, like, okay, so TJ Warren. What's wrong with campaign? He's injured right now. They got Terrence Ross, not bad. They have Torrey
Oh
Craig.
yeah, on the buyout. I forgot about Terrence Ross.
Yeah, but it's just
Will
like,
Barton's another guy to watch too. He's a free agent now too,
oh,
I
interesting.
believe. Yeah, so
Yeah, I don't know. Let's say Chris Paul is out of the situation, out of the equation with injury. It's like, man, our Torrey Craig, DeAndre Ayton campaign, is that a good enough 3 guys next to Booker and Durant to get you to the finals? I don't really think so, to be honest.
yeah. I don't know.
So I don't know, but
You know,
what about you?
I asked you for a hot take, and I was like, I don't even think I have one.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, you know what? I think this isn't really that much of a hot take. I was just gonna say, I think the Mavericks work better than people think.
okay,
I think Kyrie and Luca make it work.
okay. If you had to bet $10, I'll put some skin in the game. If you had to bet $100, does Kyrie re-sign with Dallas this offseason?
You know what? It's. I think Mark Cuban gets him to resign. I think he does.
Yeah,
I
interesting.
think that they take. I mean, I think that it could just as easily like just completely blow up.
Yeah,
But I mean, at the same, like, can Kyrie even afford that? You know what I mean? Like, if it's a good
yeah,
situation and like Mark Cuban, genuinely wants him to be there, it seems like, you know, he wants him to be there in the long run. It's not just
yeah,
something to appease, Luca and stuff. I mean, I don't see why not,
yeah,
I think that Luca's gonna have to adapt his game a little bit. Like,
yeah,
I mean, they both are, but
yeah.
I mean, two of the best like one-on-one players in the NBA, like,
I'm interested to see if the Mavericks even offer the 4-year, 200 million.
yeah.
I know they can't do it yet. They can only offer 2 years as an extension, but I'm kind of thinking. So Kyrie was trying to get that extension from Brooklyn. They
Mhm.
wouldn't give it to him. So he has to be traded, and I don't think Dallas ever even offered it. Because I mean, some people on Twitter were trying to tell me that, like, yeah, Kyrie wants the 4 years, but like you said, with where Kyrie's career is at right now, can he afford to turn down a 2-year extension
Yeah.
for what? I mean, I don't know what the exact figure would be, but it'd probably be between 37 and 45 million a year. So let's say it's like a 2-year, $85 million extension. I don't think Kyrie would turn that down. So probably means that the Mavs just never offered it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think that he leaves if there's going to be some back channel communication, right? Of like if he wants to go to the Lakers or wherever else, I don't see what other team, there's not really a connection to any other team that I could see
Yeah.
him, leaving to join. So
I definitely think it's Lakers or Mavericks next year.
yeah.
So I don't know. Mark Cuban has been kind of outspoken on similar topics that Kyrie has been outspoken on in opposite directions. So I'm very interested to see how that dynamic plays out. I believe Cuban was quoted as saying, like, every employee that works for me will be vaccinated.
Yeah.
And Kyrie is not. And I mean, he is an employee of Mark Cuban.
But to be fair, like, I mean, this isn't Dorian Finney-Smith. This is Kyrie fucking Irving.
I mean, you're right. You're right. Like, I get that.
I think part of it's to build that culture and stuff, but at the same time, like,
yeah.
I mean, if he thinks he's gonna lose Luka and like, you know what I mean?
For
if
sure.
Luka doesn't even like playing with him, then it's like, well, shit, he's out of there.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think Cuban will approach Kyrie about it at all. That's not what I'm saying as much as I wonder what
Like,
are
how does the
Cuban's thoughts
public-
of, like, do you actually want to give this guy $200 million
Yeah.
when you have such different philosophies on life?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, dude. $200 million over 4 years. Totally guaranteed. So I can tell you one thing, the Lakers will give him guaranteed money.
Well, yeah, I mean, they print money, bro. Come on.
Yeah. Man. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. But yeah, I actually like that though. I'm a big fan of I like Kyrie's game. And I'm a big fan of Luka. So I don't think you're wrong. I'm just kind of cheering for the opposite to happen. I want chaos. Chaos on the Mavericks. It's good for me. So yeah. All right, man. Well, let's wrap it up if that's okay. It's 11:35 Mountain Time. Getting kind of sleepy.
Yeah, it's getting late, man.
Yeah. Woo. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. I'm glad that we've been able to make this a regular thing. I think we've hit 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I just need to get back on the podcast. I've been so busy. I'm going to do this one though. I promise you.
Yeah. All good, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Maddie, thanks for joining us. Hopefully it won't be too long before Mike is back on. We love having Mike on here, and he always seems to be able to cut it from a different angle than me and you do. So I love having Mike for that reason.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, he keeps it fresh for us. So
yeah.
Anyways, we will catch you guys next Thursday evening. So take care. Be safe this week.